Well, hi everyone. Welcome to CENMAC's Thursday 30, and especially to Kim Lawther, who's from Smartbox and is going to be running the session this afternoon on their new academy. There's not many people on the call this afternoon, so I think if you want to ask questions, I think Kim's happy to take them or pop them into the chat and we can look at answering them at the end. So thank you very much, and I'll hand over to you.
Awesome, thank you. And hello everybody who's here live and anybody who's watching the recording. Thank you so much for coming to this particular session. So I'm going to be talking to you about Smartbox Academy, which is about 6 months old now, so still pretty fresh. So for those of you who know Smartbox, you'll know that we have a commitment to global awareness and education through training. So we have set ourselves the challenge of training 25,000 people globally this year. So yes, that is a large number, as I'm sure you can appreciate, but yeah, we're dedicated to raising awareness of AAC and supporting AAC users. So since October, the Academy has trained 6,500 plus people. So those numbers go up every day. And we've reached people in 20 plus countries across the world. So that's an incredible achievement for us. We're constantly trying to raise awareness and upskill people. So we're really proud of those kinds of statistics. We do training in a number of different ways. No doubt some of you have worked with our UK team who deliver training, as well as the training team that Smartbox has. But obviously, times changed during COVID. Oh, I can hear myself. Yeah, sorry. Times changed during COVID. A lot of stuff went online, and we were really keen to follow that trend and that different learning style. And that is really how the Academy came to fruition. So we all know why we're here, and it doesn't matter how big or small our sort of role is with AAC users. It's really important to gather that knowledge, and we know that training will help in advocating for people who use AAC, and brings that wider awareness to society as well. So again, the Academy is a huge step towards that awareness and advocacy. So we're very proud of it. So there are different types of courses, which I will go through in a moment, but we've got a number of different branches throughout Smartbox that really is about that awareness, advocating, training and supporting. So if you're not already aware, we have our Facebook community. So if you just type in Smartbox community, in there we have some incredible users, parents, teachers, clinicians that often share tips and tricks, as well as ask questions about any issues that they're having. And it's a really fantastic community, which our Smartbox support team also keep an eye on. So they often will input their incredibly valuable knowledge as well. We've also got the Smartbox Hub. So this is where you'll find a wealth of resources, manuals, different languages as well for the manuals and resources, and really more of that support thing. And then finally, what I'm here to talk to you about today is the Academy. So we have a mixture of free and paid training to improve skills for using Grid specifically, or Grid for iPad. But then we have some wider ranged training. So we look at things like access methods, or we get expert-led paid for courses, which have a lot more research behind them. Like I say, though, I will go through all of that. So yeah, I think I will just jump into the Academy. I will stop sharing for one moment. and share this screen instead. So it is academy.thinksmartbox.com. So the same as our website, but with Academy in front of it. And when you type in that URL, this is the page you'll be met with. So sign up is completely free. And this is what you'll be greeted with. So we've got the bar at the top here, which has the course catalogue, which I'll go into more detail. A little about us, try Grid. So if you haven't tried Grid yet, you can get a 30-day free trial for Grid for iPad, or a 60-day trial for Grid 3, which is Windows based. FAQs, sign up, and if you've already got an account, excellent, and that's where you would log in. A little bit of information here. So featured courses, these 3 courses actually were released yesterday. So it's very, very exciting. So these 2 here are based on our software. So Getting to Know Voco Chat, which is a vocabulary package within Grid. Accessible Apps, which is available on Grid 3. So it talks a little bit more about what's available, things like Instagram, Netflix, those kinds of things. And then here we have a paid for course, which is supporting AAC users and their mental health. So I touched on it earlier, but the paid for courses are not product based. So it's not anything to do with Grid. Obviously, you can support AAC users and their mental health using Grid, but it's really a very in-depth, research-driven course aimed to raise awareness for AAC users, but also aid in the ways in which we can support AAC users. Here we've got a little video tour, so it gives you a little bit more in depth. It's kind of what I'm gonna cover today, but a little video tour, and then a link to download Grid. So again, if I stop sharing, I will show you what it looks like. I've got 100 tabs and things open, so thank you for your patience. So I've got an account, I've logged in. These are all the courses that I have assigned to my account just for this demonstration. But if I want to see what courses there are, or the course catalogue, or what have I done? Let's go back. I'll log me out. Yeah, love a live demonstration. So if I want to have a look at course catalogues and things like, I've got all the courses here. So it gives me a list of, these are all the ones that I'm a learner on, I'm enrolled on, and I can take a look. So I think mental health will be a nice example since it's brand new. So for every course, free or paid, you get a description here, which gives you a really nice outline of what it is that you're going to get as part of that course. And then it will also give you a general idea of how long that course will take. With every course on the Academy, once you've completed it, you do get a certificate. So thinking about CPD and things like that, you're able to present that for CPD. So if I want to start the course, generally most courses do look like this. There are different types, which I will go back on in a moment. So this is an example of a paid for course. So I can see all the lessons here. I can see how much I've completed the lessons, but it's a really nice way of formatting and seeing what it is that you're about to do. So as to not spoil it too much for you, I won't go into depth with this one, but I will go back to courses. There we go, course catalogue, perfect. So course catalogue, this is where everything lives. You're able to filter here based on what exactly it is you want to do. And you can also see in the top layer here the categories that they come under. So we have live workshops, further your knowledge, getting started. So it gives you an idea of the sort of level. If you're just beginning to learn and beginning to work with AAC users, the getting started category is obviously a great place to begin. Further your knowledge, often are the paid for courses. So like I said, really in-depth, very research driven, and they're written in collaboration with all of our sort of high level experts here at Smartbox. We've then got short courses. So these are often, let's take a look. These are often sort of more video based courses. So we get an introduction of what exactly is going to be included, and then that video then is the content. So that's why they're classified as a short course, is because they're like nice little snippets. You want to upskill yourself on a lunchtime, so you're going to take a short course. The catalogue, go to the next page. So yeah, so that's all of those courses there. The academy itself has loads of features. So if we wanted to get in touch with any of the course writers or things like that, you're able to do that within the platform. Another really important thing, which I have just remembered, is our workshops are now hosted through the academy. So if you're interested in a workshop, you'll see they're titled Live Workshop, and these are really great. So I'm going to do a Getting Started with Grid workshop. This is where everything's going to be hosted, and all the resources that you need, the ability to contact the team, is all going to be on here. So they'll be hosted through the academy as well. So it's really nice. Everything in terms of our learning is all going to be hosted on the academy. So you now know, for the sales information, you're going to go to thinksmartbox.com. For the resources, you're going to go to hub.thinksmartbox.com, and for anything learning, you're going to go to academy.thinksmartbox.com. Let me just come out of that and go back to my PowerPoint. So this is a little bit more in depth to what I touched upon with the academy. So important takeaways: there are free and paid for courses to support professionals and those supporting AAC. So there are different levels. So there's definitely stuff for parents who are supporting their loved ones. Well, yeah, not just parents, anybody who's supporting an AAC user who isn't a clinician or a teacher. There are ones for teachers. So we've got AAC in the classroom. So if you are looking to implement and improve the way in which you use AAC within the classroom, there's a really nice course on there at the moment, as well as more clinical ones. So there's, for example, there's one called Art of Conversation, and it's really interesting, talking about how important conversation is and how to support AAC users in that. So there are full courses which are free, based on Grid as well, and they're the kind of ones that have multiple lessons and multiple modules, just breaking down Grid 3 or Grid for iPad, because obviously it's a huge piece of software which has so many features that you could absolutely get lost in there, because it can just do so much. So it's a really great way of breaking down all of the things that you can do with Grid. So that's what comes into that Grid learning pathway and that Grid for iPad learning pathway. So you could often get very overwhelmed, and the idea is of these courses to break it down into nice chunks for you to, alongside your iPad or your Grid pad, kind of go through these lessons. Short courses, which I already touched on, so they're just video tutorials. That lunchtime, I want to upskill myself, you know, I want to support my students in their access method or the particular vocabulary package they're using. So therefore, I'm going to quickly upskill myself on a lunchtime. And then paid for courses. So we are incredibly lucky to have a wealth of knowledge at Smartbox. And it did seem a little bit ridiculous not to tap into that incredible wealth of knowledge. So we've created some paid for courses, which are research-based, really, really comprehensive, and a great thing to, again, upskill yourself on. But they're not product-based. They're very much the conversations we're having in the office, that we're seeing brought up at conferences and other events, and we do the research about that, for example, mental health, and we put it all into a really nice digestible course for anybody to take who's supporting AAC users. Catherine, love a question.
Yeah, I just wondered, when you say full courses and short courses, what are the time frames you're talking about?
So they do vary. So, for example, let me come out of this again. Let's take a look at one of the courses. Okay, so short courses, let's have a look at using switches in grid. So we've got here in the description that it'll take approximately an hour for this particular short course. Let's take a look at grid iPad. So this one, approximately 3 to 4 hours. So they do vary on content, really. There is definitely no standard. So yeah, when you're taking a look at the information of each course, just take a look and it will have the duration of how long it'll take. And a little intro video. If you're not big on reading text, this intro video gives you the same sort of information as well. Awesome. Accreditations. So the way that we do it is you do get a certificate. So it'll say that you have completed this course. We're looking into more of the professional accreditations. So like I said at the beginning, we're still very young. We're 6 months old, and we're just finding our feet currently, but that is something that the team are taking a look at. So hopefully we'll be able to offer that in the future. That. Yeah, so within the academy as well, once you've finished a course, you're able to give a rating to that course. So if you thought it was really helpful, and you are very happy, which is what we often hope, would get a 5 stars, then that's fantastic, and you're able to give that rating to the course, which then again will help other people determine which course they're going to potentially prioritize or take. And there's also an opportunity to feedback. We would love feedback. Again, like I said, it's a very young platform. The feedback absolutely feeds into what we're doing. We're really keen for this platform to be the very best tool for everybody, clinicians, parents, teachers, you know, loved ones who are supporting AAC users. So feedback is so valuable for us. And even if it's a particular subject, you'd love to know, you know, what Smartbox thinks about. There are so many incredible things happening at the moment, for example, with AI. So we're really keen to find out more, read that research, and then maybe once we feel a bit more confident about AI, we can put a course on it to upskill people with all the research that we've done. But again, equally products, if you want to know more about a particular product and you think that a course would be helpful on that, then please do feed that back. And we have our challenge of 25,000 people trained across Smartbox globally. And the Academy is going to be a huge part of that. So we're excited to see what the future holds. So if you haven't already, are there any structured pathways for parents, professional support and AAC users? So we've got the software specific pathways. So we've got the Grid 3 learning pathway, and we've got the Grid for iPad learning pathway. But we are also going to be doing courses that are about supporting AAC users. So again, just because it was released yesterday, it's a very good example, supporting the mental health. So we're thinking about that wider, the wider experience of AAC users. So we've got AAC in the classroom, so that's thinking about how they're going to be supported in the classroom. We've got mental health, so how can we support AAC users' mental health? Different types of communicators, we've got all of those kinds of courses, and obviously we're every so ever many months going to be releasing more and more. So we've got product specific support and pathways for people supporting AAC users, and then that wider support of particular aspects of everybody's lives. Yes, so just a prompt that if you haven't enrolled, then please do at academy.thinksmartbox.com. Let me just check the chat 1 second, sorry. Could some courses be used with a group of staff watching, completing together, thinking of AAC in the classroom? I mean, technically, yes, you could do it together. I suppose the difficulty is, let me show you that course actually, because it'll help with my explanation. And I've completely lost track of time. So if I'm pushing it for time, then please, please let me know. Let me just find.
You're okay for time.
Excellent, excellent. I should have done myself a timer. AAC in the classroom. Okay. Let's show you this one. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think you'd find it difficult to, for it to be like a whole staff training. I think you would want people to do it individually, but it's whether a core team take the course and then take what you've got from that course and feed it back. I think that in my head would be the most logical way. So this particular course is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lessons. And each one sort of gives you lots of information alongside examples and things like that. And then at the end of the content, you have a little like an end of lesson knowledge check. So yeah, I feel like the most logical thing to do if you were thinking sort of a wider team is to maybe a core set of you do this, gain yourself that knowledge and then feed that knowledge back. Seems like the most logical way if you weren't all able to do the course individually, depending on how many staff members there were. While I'm here, actually, as well as certificates, you do get little badges if you've achieved things. So if you're the sort of person like me who does need a little pat on the back, that's a really nice thing. I like a certificate and a badge. Fab. I'm glad it made sense. Thank you, Angie. So that is Smartbox Academy in a nutshell. But please do enroll at the very least to get a little bit more in depth of a tour and to check out the courses that you're interested in. So even the paid for one, so AAC in the classroom is paid for, but within the description you'll get a full lowdown of what is in that course, as well as a video. You'll get to see my face again because I am the video for that particular course. So it gives a really great description of what's going to be involved, so you know if it's definitely for you. But again, in terms of affordability, we've been very, very mindful of the paid for courses. So hopefully they're well within budget and really, really valuable content from some incredible experts within Smartbox. Yes. So are there any other questions?
Sorry, Kim, thanks.
Yes.
I thought
Pleasure.
I'll just unmute myself and ask you. Sorry to ask you again.
No, please.
I'm a member of your online academy and so many courses, which is
Yes.
good. I started. I've got a badge, so I know.
Yes.
I'm asking more from a parent's perspective.
Yes.
It's an incredibly wide range of courses. If I
Correct.
were to signpost to a parent, these are the 5 free courses that you
Yes.
could do to support your child.
Yeah.
I need something like that because
Okay.
I don't think as a parent, I know I'm interested and I navigated the whole website and this thing, but if I think we need something like a parent is starting to
Right.
support
Okay.
an user. So these are the simple courses
Yes.
that you
I
can
think
do.
my initial reaction would be go for the short courses. Because they're just that snippet videos, but that is fantastic feedback, and perhaps that's something we need to implement within that homepage, where we kind of do, are you a parent / guardian? Here are the recommended courses for you. If you're a clinician, here are the recommended. So that is actually very valuable feedback, and I will certainly take that back. Thank you. But yeah, I think until I can implement that change, go for the short courses, and then hopefully within, I can't give you a timeline, but soon I'll be able to implement, because that's a fantastic idea. I really love that. Thank you so much.
Because I know there's so many courses. It's amazing.
Yes, and there's only going to get more. So you're absolutely right. Being able to guide people to ones that are a great starting point for their particular role in supporting an AAC user is a great idea. Thank you. Oh, I love that. Looks amazing. We'll definitely explore and share with colleagues and schools. Love to see a reading and AAC course. Well, not that I'm going to be spoiler alert, but there might be one in the pipeline. So that's good news. But again, Angie says yay in the chat for people who are watching the recording. But again, suggestions, please do. If you're like, I'm often visiting parents or schools or whatever, and a course on X, Y, and Z would be so valuable and a really helpful resource, then please do get in touch, because suggestions are always welcome. Ultimately, we want this platform to be a really valuable resource for everybody who supports AAC users, not just grid users, anybody and everybody. Awareness raising and advocacy is what we're all about. So any suggestions are always welcome. Any more questions? No?
Brilliant.
We run out of time?
No, dead on. So you did really well.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, no, thank you so much, because it looks excellent. And
thank you.
I know it's really nice that you gave the example of the mental health course, because I've had people asking about that. So yeah, really, really brilliant. And yeah, it'd be fantastic for us to be able to share the resource with schools and parents and carers that we work with. So thank you very much, and thanks everyone who has joined the CENMAC Thursday 30 this afternoon, and we will share the recording afterwards, so you can access it there. Anyone who is on the call externally, just to also flag up that we're to start advertising Communication Works this year, which is in June the 6th, so keep the date free, and Smartbox will be there, we're hoping. Usually attend, so yeah, it's a great day to come and see young people who use assistive technology talk about how they use their technology and see all the latest technology and practices. So yeah, we'll just leave it there. If there's anything else for any other comments or feedback.
Thank you very much for having me, first of all. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot. That's really great. And yeah, thank you everyone for being here.